Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Today, me, Christopher Diaz, and my classmate, Francisca Paul, are going to present our first case analysis. A teacher must be a guide for the students, even when they do not have clear what they want to do after school. And as a future teacher, we should know that we will find every type of kid and teenager in our classroom with different contexts, expectations, and possibilities. Students feel when we believe in them, when we support them, but they also know when we're disappointed and hopeless about them. Those moments define the effort that they put in our subject. For out of the fact that we see them as much more than just brains, but a complete idea of individuals, humans with souls and conscience. We know that communication is the base of relationship in every language. We will be teachers of a foreign language, and some people will not value it as they should. Even though we have to motivate our students to learn how to communicate in two different languages, as our graduate profile expects from our university. That is what we want to demonstrate in this presentation, showing what we're learning through the courses that we're taking, reflecting that we're taking the best path in order to fulfill our future requirements as teachers. Cases explanation. This case takes place in a school of municipal dependence of the Biobío region. Each course of this municipal school is made up of 43 students, some of them with special educational needs. The school has only one English teacher for our educational level, Mr. Zapata. The teacher has worked there over 18 years and has said that their students are not motivated by anything. In each activity, students translate sentences or short paragraphs with help of dictionaries. The teacher explains everything in English and then translates it into Spanish, even though there are some students who can understand what has been said. Sociocultural aspects of English are not important or relevant to Mr. Zapata. A student's performance is very low.
The objectives of this analysis are, first, to understand better this case, we need to analyze and study the aspects that are failing in the school. Know what needs to be done in different ways to find possible solutions. Our second objective is, as current pedagogy students, we have a fresh move to try to give recommendations to the teacher according to the learning classes. And our finally objective is, we will give motivation to the students to keep in school environments such as university, technical schools, and give reasons why English is important in their lives. We can find five main difficulties in the learning teaching process. 1. Just one teacher for all levels. 2. A limited number of students per classroom. 3. Teachers do not make formative evaluation or meta evaluation. 4. Teacher with low expectations. And 5. No motivating activities. We also analyze the teacher's perspective because through the years, Mr. Zapata has got many students with the same profile, special education need without motivation and no support at all, making working with 43 students per classroom in each level an exhausting task. Besides, adding the fact that working alone without a team to support you for many years must be a difficult role to fulfill, including the excessive responsibilities that he must take being the head of the English department. If his students do not have the intention of be better, with the age, he has less spirit to share with the ones who really cares about learning process. What that in mind, Mr. Zapata is lowering his expectations and giving less of himself as a teacher.
Recommendations to the teacher. On one hand, as future pedagogists, we recommend to Mr. Zapata first to start applying a formative evaluation, which means to take the students and teaching process under evaluation constantly. It also means to clarify goals and evaluation criteria at the beginning of each class in order to acknowledge the student of the learning teaching process. As you can see in the picture, There's the questions, where are we going? Where are we? And how do we keep moving forward? These are the three main questions in order to follow formative evaluation. On the other hand, we suggest incorporation of sociocultural aspects of the language to activities and classes. Since these aspects need to be present in the acquisition of a new language, he needs to add not only foreign and sociocultural aspect, but also national context. What is happening in the real life of students? With that, he can make them speak, giving them the necessary trust in him to flow in classroom. As we already know, in this case, we find some students who are over the overall level, overall English level of their class group. We support having extra material or activities so as to keep the learning process going forward for them. In the next slide. Finally, we propose to make use of the questionnaire diagnostic evaluation pathologies to help us understand how we are evaluating our students and what are our evaluation weaknesses. As you can see, there are several questions in order to identify the 12 or 11 pathologies of the evaluation process. So for example, do you evaluate all your students regardless of the environment, context, situation within the learning process? Two, do you evaluate consequently with the teaching learning process? This evaluation diagnosis is very important in order to know what are our weaknesses in our evaluation process.
These days, we have a lot of more opportunities to study, having more universities, government support, and in some cases, even the family helps to achieve our goals. A professional career is not the only way after school, but having the degree makes a difference between a person with enough preparation at the moment to apply for a job. Another way to keep preparing to have more and better job opportunities are technical majors, which are shorter but fully accepted and needed in the labor field. Learning another language is not easy for everyone, but managing at least it's a basic level looks so much good in a resume. Companies give priority to those employees that can control a different language. Also remember that we are good for something, but not everybody for the same. Look for a virtue and ask for some help if you need it. Study make the search for a job short and easy, so put in effort and it's not a waste of time. You can do it.
As a summary, we have seen through this analysis that our role as teachers is not only going through activities and evaluation, but also evaluating through understanding and minding every aspect of the teaching learning process. Having a team in the teaching labor is really important for the psychological, emotional, and vocational factors of the teacher. We understand the significance of having or not the love of teaching. Having hopes on our students affected on how they feel about themselves. The motivation of learning English is more than just scholarly aspects, but a necessary tool in order to fit in our globalized world's expectations. Nowadays, each work requires this management of English at some level. We need to be well prepared to develop ourselves within our labor field and society. Learning English is not all about learning new vocabulary, but learning about the cultures behind the language. We cannot separate the language from his culture. Since they come together, you cannot learn one without the other. English will also help us to understand our culture by comparing ours with the Anglo culture. And remember, the human mind is like a parakeet. It doesn't work if it is not open. Thank you very much.